Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to session 67 of our Zoom in series. This evening, we find out more about Sudarshan Kriya, which is an evidence-based breathing and meditation technique. This can help us create harmony within ourselves so that we can be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Breath is linked with the body and the mind. Learning to use the breath can change the way we feel. We can learn to let go of our negative emotions like stress, anger, anxiety, depression, worries, leaving our mind completely happy, relaxed, and energized. And especially in today's day and age, I think that is something which we all need. Relaxation exercises aim at reducing stress, and one of the most widely used relaxation practices is yoga and yogic breathing exercises. Yogic breathing or pranayam is a unique method for balancing the autonomic nervous system and influencing our psychological well-being. One specific form of these breathing exercises is Sudarshan Kriya, which is shown to have a favorable effect on the mind-body system. I would like this opportunity to welcome our guest speaker, Atika Dandia. Hi, Atika.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Who has been practicing Sudarshan Kriya for more than 2 decades. How can it help us de-stress, calm our mind, help build resilience and immunity from within? These are some of the things which Atika is going to tell us more about. So welcome to Zoom in session 67, Atika. And let's,
Thank you.
Without much ado, get going. Tell us about yourself a little bit. How did you discover Sudarshan Kriya?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. And it's such an honor and pleasure to be here. I've always had friends in Vasant Vihar, and I've had friends who were members at the Vasant Vihar Club. So I'm really happy to be here. And
we are delighted to have you here as well.
Thank you so much. So to begin with, I got introduced to Art of Living and the Sudarshan Kriya by an accident. So basically I design jewelry, and I'm an image and branding consultant. And back those days, which is, as you said, 2 decades ago, this is like about 17, 18 years ago, I happened to come across this board which said the Art of Living, and I thought they'll probably teach me about interior decoration and color and furniture. And when I entered, it was a completely different world. And it actually, now when I look behind, it actually taught me how to decorate my interior.
How beautiful. How beautiful.
Yeah. So that's how by accident I got into it, and I got hooked to it because that time I was a student, and it taught me so much about time management. Can you believe it? Because I was able to do these breathing techniques, I became so healthy and so energized. I could do more work in lesser amount of time, and which really helped me with my studies. And then I got hooked onto it. Yeah.
And what has been your learning through doing Sudarshan Kriya?
There has been an immense change in the kind of person that I have become now. But one thing which I would really, really like to mention is the awareness level. Yeah. When you start doing any kind of breathing technique, your breath is closely connected to your mind. Okay. Can I explain it a little more, if you don't mind, Sanjana? Is that okay?
Please go ahead. That's what we are here to understand from you.
All right. Yeah. So, if you're born a human being, you have 7 levels of your existence. Okay. So the first level that we all know about is the body. Now, our knowledge about the
Right.
body is pretty good these days. We are all into looking good, feeling good. I don't want to eat maida. I don't want to eat white sugar. The knowledge about the body is pretty decent, especially during these times. And it's like a $1 trillion industry in America and coming soon to India. So that is the first level that we are all made up of. Now, the second level is, I'm going to ask you a question. Can I make it a little interactive, Sanjana?
Sure, please do.
Yeah. So tell me, what was the first act of your life? When you were born, what was the first act of your life? What is the first thing that you all did when you were born?
I would like the viewers to unmute.
Cry,
And,
cry.
Okay, there you go.
Cry.
You've got the answer.
Cry. So, surprise,
Maybe
surprise.
smile as well.
A
Maybe
smile.
smile as well.
And hunger pants.
That's all I remember.
Hunger pants.
Feeding.
Great. Thank you for being such a responsive audience. So the first thing that we did when we were born was not cry. We took a breath in and then we cried. Okay? So that was the first act of our life. And what is going to be the last act of our life? Breathe out. Right? So our entire life is in between these two breaths. You breathe in and then you breathe out. And that is the second level of our existence after body. So the first level is the body. The second level is the breath. The third level is the mind, where the thoughts keep coming and going. Okay. The fourth is the intellect. How is it different from the mind? Intellect is your deciding capabilities. Yes, no, right, wrong, good, bad. You decide. The decision-making faculty of your body, your mind, is the intellect. Yeah. For example, the mind gave a lot of excuses that, hey, 6 o'clock evening, I want to go for a walk. I don't want to attend this session at Zoom, cooped up in a room. Yeah. The mind gave a lot of excuses, but the intellect decided. The intellect said, no, I've been wanting to learn about Sudarshan Kriya. Let me find out. It's happening in our own club. So intellect gave you that decision-making, a pop-up answer, and you're here today. Yeah. So that is the intellect. So body, breath, mind, intellect. And the fifth level is, I'm going to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Okay, Sanjana, I'll ask you a question. Sanjana, how do you remember your name?
How do I remember my name?
Yeah, it's such a beautiful name.
I have no recollection. I guess I heard my parents say it so often. And
right.
When they addressed you as a child, they called you by that
right.
name, and that was the name given to you.
Okay.
Memory.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So that is your fifth level, memory, where you store in all your experiences. That's how you remember your name. Imagine if you didn't have a memory, you would be going to a new house, new set of family, new wife, new set of children every evening after office. The men are smiling. Men are happy about it. Yeah. So the fifth level is the memory. Okay. The sixth is your ego. Yeah, which gives you your identity. So, for example, your name is a part of your ego. Yeah, it gives you your identity. So that is your ego. And the last one is the self. Yeah, so body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and self. These are the 7 levels of your existence. Okay.
Wow,
now,
how beautifully put.
Yeah, so the next part is even more beautiful, guys. So if I were to ask you, what is it that you want in your life? Can I quickly ask you to put it in the chat box at this stage of your life when you achieved so much, when you are maybe trying to achieve a lot, through your career, or you have done whatever you wanted to do in your life. Now, what is it that you're looking for? Can I get the answer in the chat box, please? What is it that you're looking for? What do you want in your life now?
Okay.
Okay, Kirti is saying peace. Okay. Suman is saying peace of mind. Yes. Anything else? Contentment and joy, Meena is saying. Yes, absolutely. Anything else? Peace, happiness, adventure. Yes, Mithali, I totally agree. Realization. Okay. Good health. Yes. Surrounded by friends and a nice lazy life. Sadhana, I totally agree with that. Robust health. Sonia is saying yoga. Suhasini is saying harmony. Yes. Padmini is saying happiness and peace. Guys, can I put, okay, Amrita is saying return something to the society, contribute. Yes. Any other answer? Any other answer anyone wants to put in? Nobody wants money and all, huh? Moksha. Oh, wow. Yes. Nobody wants vacations, holidays, money, properties. Nobody. Wow. This is like an enlightened crowd. Okay. So if I were to put all this together in one basket, can I say that ultimately we are looking for something called the peace of mind? Yes.
I guess so. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now when you say you want peace of mind, have you ever seen your mind? Even your doctor hasn't seen the human mind, right? Now, when you haven't seen the mind, how to get to this peace of mind is the question that is answered by Sudarshan Kriya and what I'm talking about. So there is only one way, Sanjana, that you can get to this peace of mind. So I told you the 7 levels: body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, self. So you want to reach the 3rd level, the mind. You want to reach here, the peace of mind. Now, your knowledge about the 1st level is pretty good. You know about the body. Yeah.
Right.
Now, the only way you can connect this outer level of activity to this inner world of silence is through the 2nd level. What is the 2nd level, guys?
Breath.
Yeah.
Breathing.
So your breath is the only link which can connect your body to your mind. And then you can get some peace of mind. You have to learn to work with your breath. And that is what I learned during this entire program, which I did and which completely changed my life, Sanjana. So
Wow.
this is where the link is.
Right. So, I mean, that's been your learning. I mean, I don't think
Yes.
it comes so quickly to people, but I think the way you have described it so beautifully in such simple words, actually, the connection between the mind and the body through the breathing. So, tell us more about Sudarshan Kriya. I mean, what is this special breathing technique where, which is meant to connect us from within and make us strong as well as increase our immunity? I think in today's day and age, that is something which we all are seeking is immunity from within. And it's not just to fight off the infection, it's just to make us resilient, I guess.
Totally. I totally agree with that. Absolutely, 100%. Um, so also, these pandemic times, Sanjana, what I have found that, for example, whatever sessions that I have taken up till now, I have focused mainly on 2 things. The past 1.5 years, I've taken so many Zoom sessions. Number one, I've focused on the lung health for obvious reasons, because the COVID impacts your lungs and your immunity, and lung being one of the major organs which help you to detoxify. Yeah. And which helps you to really, really be healthy, especially during these times. And the second thing which I have focused on is, Sanjana, the mental health. And why mental health? Because most of the people I'm experiencing these days have the fear of the unknown. And they do
Very
not
true.
know that there is a lot of anxiety, there is helplessness, there is a kind of trauma attached to the deaths of loved ones and close family members. And people do not know how to handle their mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all these anxiety levels going up and helplessness and anger and frustration, your immunity is dipping. Got it? And when your
Right.
immunity dips, you become prone to, all these kind of, for example, COVID. It's only when your
Mm-hmm.
immunity is down that the virus impacts you. So, what is required is not only lung health, but you need to look into your mental health. You need to be a strong, resilient person to be able to have a strong immune system so that you can fight the virus. And that
Right.
is where Sudarshan Kriya comes in. So,
Mm-hmm.
pranayam it deals with the lung health, and the Sudarshan Kriya deals with the lungs, plus it gives you a lot of mental clarity, a lot of mental resilience, and
Mm-hmm.
that is what it's all about. And if you want to me to explain it a little more, I hope you're not getting bored because I'm going into technicalities of things. Is that okay with you all? Can you give me a thumbs
Yeah,
up
I
if
think
it's
that's
okay?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So,
Audience,
yeah, please, Sanjana.
viewers, please, Atika wants to know if you want to know things in more detail. So please do respond to her in the chat box.
Yeah, because otherwise, whatever you ask me, we can go into that because uh, it'll help me to make the session more interesting and more interactive.
You have
Just,
one
just show
thumbs
me
up
a
for
thumbs
sure.
up. Show me a thumbs up. Just there's a reaction there. Just go to the reactions and show me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Okay. Or switch on your cameras if we are going okay by you. All right. Okay. So let
Lots
me
of thumbs
explain
up
to you.
there.
Yes, a lot of thumbs up. So let me explain to you what Sudarshan Kriya is. Okay. Um, there is a rhythm in the environment. What is the rhythm of the environment? Like the four seasons come one after the other. Yeah. Similarly, there's a rhythm between, we experience day and night. Yeah. Similarly, we have the rhythm of the body. We feel hungry at a particular time, we feel sleepy at a particular time. That is the rhythm of the body. Similar to that is a rhythm of your emotions and your internal being. Now, as a child, all this was in complete harmony with the universal rhythm. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
as we start growing up, these rhythms, these biorhythms, they start getting disturbed due to a lot of uh, external and internal factors. So, what are the external factors? External factors are like pollution, like the kind of adulterated food that we have become used to eating these days, the kind of relationship problems that we are facing these days. How the family system has suddenly changed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we are used to more nuclear families now. The children are all the time sitting in front of the, I call it the idiot box, or
Mm-hmm.
with an iPad, with all the time this LED emission that we keep getting. So all these things have an impact on the body and mind, and the rhythm gets disturbed. Now, what Sudarshan Kriya does is sets you back into the rhythm with which you were born as a child. So, as a child, uh, even if you threw a tantrum at your mom, after 2 minutes, you forgot about the tantrum, about your anger. And now,
Mm-hmm.
when you get angry, do you realize how long does it stay in you? Not hours, it stays for days and weeks and years, and sometimes a whole lifetime.
Mm.
So
That is
whenever you
true.
undergo, yeah, so whenever you're undergoing all these negative emotions like anger, frustration, irritation, jealousy, a chemical reaction takes place inside you, Sanjana, and a toxin is produced in your body. Okay. Now, till the age of 30, 35, you'll be fit and fine. Nothing much is going to happen to you. But after the age of 35, you have problems like acidity, migraine, high blood pressure, cardiac problems. And most of these are psychosomatic diseases. What is psychosomatic? Anyone? Psychosomatic is related to your mind and your lifestyle. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you, and you feel, oh, because it's heredity, I'm getting it. No, I'm sorry. It might not be that.
Right.
Right. So Sudarshan Kriya sets you back into the rhythm with which you were born as a child. You did not have these problems back then. Yeah. So it's like
Right.
a preventive thing. And also, I would like to mention, Sanjana, there are a lot of research papers on Sudarshan Kriya done by AIMS, done by NIMHANS, yeah, where the doctors have done, the research analysts have done research, and they have proved that type 2 diabetes can be completely cured by Sudarshan Kriya. The good
Right.
cholesterol goes up and the bad cholesterol comes down. So these are some of the findings, and they are available on the net, Sanjana.
Okay.
Mm.
That's great because, dealing with one's health is one of the most important objectives in people's lives now, because if you are healthy, then you can do so much more.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you're talking about anxiety and stress. I think one of the biggest anxiety and stress which one is facing these days is having to spend a lot more time with yourself.
Right.
I think that in itself is a source of stress, because we are so used to running around and doing hundreds of things that we've never really had a chance to spend time with oneself. And during the pandemic, during the lockdown, that has been one of the outcomes. Is you are by yourself with yourself, and having to cope with it. And like you were saying, all these negative emotions, you keep thinking about it perhaps, and more than much to yourself. So please tell us how, if you can do a short demo and tell us how we can practice this in our everyday, so that we are able to reset our bodies and train our bodies again to be almost childlike, where we don't hold on to grudges, where the chemical component which is destroying our inner being is something which we can neutralize.
Absolutely. I think that's a must. And that's such a wonderful question that you asked on everybody's behalf. I thank you for that. But before I answer the question, I'm also again going to ask the members a few questions, and it will help me to answer Sanjana. Okay. So I would like you to take on to the chat box and just write yes if it applies to you, and no if it does not apply to you. Okay. So my first question to all of you is, how many of you feel that sleep doesn't come to you easy? Like you can't sleep before midnight or post midnight. Just write a Y or a N. It takes you long to actually fall asleep. Just write a yes or a no.
Lots of no's.
Lovely, lovely. Okay. Lovely, wonderful. So that means you can sleep easily. Wonderful. All right. How many of you feel that when you get up in the morning, you don't feel fresh? You don't feel fresh. Okay. No. Okay. This no means you don't feel. You feel fresh. Thank you. No, you don't feel fresh. I do feel fresh. Lovely. Feel fresh. Okay. Lovely. Lovely. Fantastic. How many of you feel that after lunch, you do feel like taking some extra bit of coffee or tea, an external stimulant, or maybe a cigarette, or maybe a nap after lunch to before you get back to your next set of work, next set of tasks. Okay. Believe me, it's a good idea to take a nap, especially after 40 years of age. Yeah, so but if you need a tea or coffee, then we need to know why this is happening. Feel like having a nap. Feel the need. Yes, all right. How many of you feel that you do not eat much, but you are putting on weight at a particular part of your body? It can be the stomach area, it can be the arms becoming rounded suddenly, or the face. You are not eating much, but you're putting on weight. Okay. And how many of you, okay, yes, there's a lot of yes for that. How many of you feel that your memory is diminishing? Your concentration power has gone down. And especially those of you who have an active working life, even now. I'm especially talking to those people. All right. So a lot of yeses to that. Okay. So, guys, even if there is a 1 or a 2 yes to any of these questions, then we need to know something about adrenal fatigue. Yeah. It is possible that we might be having something called the adrenal fatigue. Okay. So, adrenals are these two little glands sitting on top of our kidneys. Kidneys are at the back. Mm-hmm. Two little glands sitting on top of our kidneys, and they are secreting the hormone, which is called the fight or flight hormone. Yeah, which is the stress hormone, right? Now, the pre-Homo sapien days, this hormone used to be secreted, say, 5 to 6 times in the whole day. Yeah. Whenever we had to fight a danger or we had to flight from the dangerous situation. Yeah, the pre-Homo sapien days. Currently, this hormone is secreted not 5 to 6 times in a day, but 5 to 6 times every hour.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this, anytime you receive a WhatsApp message, or some your boss shouts at you, the wife screams at you, or something happens, the roads are blocked, the rains are filling the roads with water, and you're stuck in a jam, the stress hormone keeps on getting secreted. It keeps on getting secreted. Yeah. So this over secretion of the stress hormone produces something called the adrenal fatigue in your system. Yeah. This adrenal fatigue is the start of a lot of things. Now, when you go to a doctor, they will not prescribe you any medication for it, only because of the simple reason that it will not come in your blood test till 80% of your adrenals are destroyed completely. So the doctors will not treat you for this. I'm sorry if there's a doctor sitting here. So what happens after you become prone to adrenal fatigue? It kind of leads to a lot of other problems like insulin resistance, like your cholesterol levels going up, and then you're put on statins. Suddenly you have a thyroid problem, hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, or insomnia. Your pituitary, your pineal glands get affected, your memory power starts diminishing. In short, your entire endocrinal system goes for a toss.
Yeah, because one is so closely related with the other.
Exactly. And that is where I tell you things start to go wrong. But the good news is that this can be reversed. And all that you have to do
very reassuring.
Yes, absolutely. Because these are all lifestyle changes, psychosomatic diseases, and only thing that is required is some lifestyle changes, a good diet, some easy to do exercises, and some good pranayam and meditation to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm going to teach you one pranayam today, which will activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And I will guide you into a very short meditation, if you allow me, which will again help you to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Are you game to do that?
Yes.
Yes. So I want
Absolutely.
everybody to just relax and sit. I'm going to teach you something very simple. I will not go into any of those high profile pranayams. So, guys, do you know the word prana is closely related to uh, the word energy, chi, yeah, uh, and the breath. So, how do you increase the prana level? By increasing the intake of your breath. Yeah, you know that you consume about 2 to 3 kgs of food every day. You consume about 3 to 4 liters of water every day. Do you know how many liters of breath you consume every day? Take a wild guess. Put it in the chat box, please, if you know it. How many liters of breath you consume every day? Anyone? Any wild guess?
I'm flummoxed by that too.
So food about 2 to 3 kgs, unless you're from Punjab, maybe 5 to 6 kgs, or a Punjabi. Yeah, Punjab the Puttar. Yeah, and water, if you're conscious of your health, maybe 4 to 5 liters. And how many liters of breath do you consume? Okay, Sadhana is saying 10,000. Vedchi is saying more than 1,000. Okay. So Sadhana, you're very close. We every day consume 10 to 12,000 liters of breath. That's the amount of oxygen that we are taking in. Okay. And here I would also like to mention, before we get into the pranayam, a study which was conducted by the Harvard Medical College. They said that on a scale of 1 to 10, the lung expansion of an average individual who does not exercise every day. Okay, so somebody who does not exercise every day, the lung expansion is on a scale of 1 to 10, 2. And the lung expansion of an average individual who exercises every day on a scale of 1 to 10 is 4. And guess that of an Olympic athlete. Take a guess.
6, 7?
9.5.
Oh, wow.
That is the human potential. And do you realize where we are? 2 and 4. Yeah. And what does lung expansion means? Lung expansion means taking in oxygen. So are you breathing properly? Are you using your lungs to the optimum capacity? Whatever your capacity is, everybody will have a unique capacity. So whatever your capacity is, are you optimizing the use of your lungs? Yeah. And that helps to increase your energy levels, your prana levels. Yeah. So prana is something, I'm sure there are a lot of people I see here who must be having really high level of prana. You must be identifying with people who, they work the whole day. In the evening also, they'll come home and they'll say, come on, let's go for a drive. Come on, let's do this, let's do that. Let's sit and paint, let's cook together. Unke ghar mein aate hi raunak aa jati hai. Do you have such people in your houses? How many of you have such people in your houses? Or you are one of them probably. Yeah. You look forward that they would come home. Yeah. Their prana level is very, very high. That's the first category of people we have. And the second category of people, जिनका सवेरे सवेरे अगर हम चेहरा देख लें तो हमको क्या लगता है, oh my god, आज तो मेरा पूरा दिन बर्बाद जाएगा. Oh, better run away. I don't want to engage with that. See, some of you are smiling.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So why? What is it that they do? What is it that they do which you don't like? What is it that they do? Why is that you don't want to engage with them first thing in the morning? Just can you put it in the chat box? What is it about them which you don't like? Anyone? What do they do? Negative energy. Yes, Charu. And what do you mean by negative energy? What does that mean? What are they doing which makes you feel, oh my God, I don't want to engage with them?
It's
What do you
actually the
mean?
demeanor.
Negative. Yes. And what is the activity they are doing? What are the kind of talks that they are doing? Putting you down, not a good mood. The aura around them. What does not make my mind happy? Kirti is saying they give you negative something. Okay. So what do
Negative
they do?
vibes.
How do they sap your energy? How do they sap your energy? Have you noticed? Yes, thank you, Mitali. That was the word I was looking for. They are always cribbing and complaining. They are always so critical. तुमने ये नहीं किया, तुमने वो नहीं किया, तुमने ऐसा. They don't like whether you do something good, they don't like it. Whether you do something bad, they don't like it. So the moment you see them, you want to run away. Oh my God, they're going to sap my energy. I don't want to engage with them. So stop blaming them. You know why they do what they do? Their energy levels are very low. The prana level is very low. And you and I also behave in a similar fashion when our energy levels are down. Have you heard yourself complaining and cribbing sometimes? Notice that time you're feeling very down and out as far as your energy is concerned. Yeah. So that is what prana means. Yeah.
Wow.
Your energy levels.
You have explained it so well. You know, these are words which you keep reading about or listening about, but you know, when if you've explained it, I mean, the way you have explained it, one can actually emote with the word now, and
Thank you. Thank you so much.
one can picture oneself, why you react in a certain way as well.
Absolutely. You know, we'll stop blaming people after this. There's no need to blame anyone. It's just their energies are not up to the mark. Yeah.
Right.
So how do you increase this energy and how do you maintain this energy? To this word prana, you add another word called yama. Yama means directing and controlling. So directing and controlling of your energy levels is called pranayama. And that is what our country has given to the whole world. Yeah. So just 5 minutes of any pranayama sanchana can set the pace of your entire day if you do it rightly. Yeah. So I'm going to teach you one very simple pranayama to strengthen your lungs. It's called the straw pranayama or the smoker's pranayama. So it's very simple. You're going to, I'll just first show it to you, then I'll give you instructions also. After that, I'm going to lead you into a meditation. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit back, relax, take off your glasses, support your back with a cushion, your lower back especially. Put your feet up if you're on a couch. Yeah. Be very comfortable. And so in this pranayama, we're going to do simple breathing technique. We're just going to breathe in through our nose and then we are going to breathe out as if we are breathing out through a straw. There is a straw in front of us and we breathe, or we are blowing out a candle. So how do we do this? Just watch me once. You pout your lips and you breathe out. Yeah. So we will do this about 5 times. And then we'll close our eyes and then we will meditate for a few minutes. Okay. And before that, we're just going to do some lymphatic drainage. Yeah. Lymphatic drainage is also very important to increase your immunity levels. That is where our white blood cells can fight the virus. Okay. And unlike the heart, like the heart is there to pump the blood, we do not have any organ to move the lymph nodes or the lymphatic liquid. So for that, movement is medicine. Yeah. So I'm going to simply just ask you to just pull your ears, just hold your ears like this and just pull them, because there are a lot of lymph nodes in this area. Okay. So I just want you to pull your ears like we used to do when we were little children. The teachers used to make us do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And from the up, like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And come down. The next point, which is very important, is this area where most of our stress gets accumulated. So this is also a very important point with a lot of lymph nodes. So what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in, raise our shoulders, straighten our elbows, and breathe out completely. The shoulders are still high near the ears. And then just pump the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. Let's do it one more time. Very simple. Breathing in, raise your shoulders, straighten your elbows, and breathe out completely. After breathing out, just pump your shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. We don't have much time, otherwise I would make you do it one more time. Do it 3 times, okay? Now we'll do 5 times the straw pranayam, and we'll close our eyes after that. You can do the straw pranayam with your eyes closed also. So take off your glasses and sit comfortably. Let's close our eyes. And take a deep breath in. And breathe out as if you're blowing a candle. Use your lungs to the optimum capacity. Take another deep breath in. And blow out the candle. Very slowly. Blowing out is very slow. Once again, take a deep breath in. And blow out from the straw. Breathing out from the straw. Let's do it the 4th time. Breathing in. And breathing out. One last time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Now keep your eyes closed. Sit comfortably and easily. Your spine erect. And become aware of your breath. Become aware of each breath going in and out. Every ingoing breath is energizing you. And every outgoing breath is relaxing you more and more. Taking a deep breath in and breathing out. Become aware of any noises in the environment. The noise of people talking in the background. Maybe a car is honking. The birds are chirping. the sound of the air conditioner or the fan. Accept all the noises around you. You are in harmony with all the sounds right now. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your body and relax it completely. Relax your feet. Relax your right leg, left leg. Relax your hips and abdomen. Loosen it up. Relax your stomach and chest. Loosen it up. Relax your right shoulder and right arm. Your arm is resting on your lap, your palms are facing the sky. Just relax your arms. Your right arm first. Your left shoulder and left arm. Loosen it up. Loosen your neck muscles. If you need to move it, stretch it, move it, and loosen it up. Relax all your facial muscles, your lips, your cheeks, your eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead, the top of your head. Relax your entire body. Your entire body. Relax your entire body. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. For a few moments now, I want nothing. For a few moments now, I do nothing. For a few moments now, I am nothing. Just drop all efforts, mental and physical, and completely repose in the self. कुछ क्षणों के लिए मानसिक और शारीरिक सभी चेष्टाएं छोड़ के पूर्ण रूप से विश्राम करें. Just drop all efforts. There's nothing to do right now. Nothing to see, nothing to hear. Just drop all efforts, mental and physical. Om Asatoma Satkamaya Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The body is still. The mind is also still. Enjoy the stillness. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathing out very slowly. Become aware of your body and surroundings. And whenever you feel complete, you may open your eyes. Take your time, do not be in a hurry. Good morning.
It is good morning indeed.
Right.
Wow, that was so relaxing, and one is feeling refreshed and re-energized. So it is a good morning indeed.
Sanjana, can I request everyone to just write one word as to how they are feeling right now? If they can share, can I request everyone to just put in the state of your mind, how it is right now? Okay. Relaxing, peaceful, wonderful, relaxed, so good and feeling so calm. Top of the world. All right. Great. Blissful. All right. Feeling light. Thank you. Thank you.
Just
Great.
can I ask a question, Atika?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
See, when you say breathe in, breathe out is through the nose or through the mouth?
No. Till I give you a specific instruction, it is always through the nose.
But you said
Breathe
also that
in.
you blow the candle, you know.
So that was a specific pranayam which I taught you, which helps to increase the lung strength. Otherwise, in all other instructions, it's about breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. But that was a specific straw pranayam, which is very, very good for you to do in these pandemic times. Everybody should do it. It not only helps you to still the mind, it also helps you to strengthen the lungs.
Thank you, Atika. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My
Over to you,
next question
Sanjana.
was going to be, can you practice Sudarshan Kriya at home? And how long does it take to learn this Kriya? I mean, you've been doing it over a very long stretch of time,
Right.
but
Right.
if one wants to learn it, how long does it take to learn, and
So
how does one learn it?
it's very simple to learn this. You just need like 4 days and about 1.5 hours every day. So the first day we prepare you for Sudarshan Kriya. Then the next 2 days you do the Sudarshan Kriya. And the fourth day we teach you how to do it at home. And it's just a practice which takes you about 15 to 20 minutes every day to do, not more than that.
Okay. So it's something which you can do at home every day. I mean, that was my next question. When is the best time of the day to do the Sudarshan Kriya?
Any time of the day.
Any
You
time
should
of the day.
just be absolute any time of the day on a light stomach. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there any side effects to this pranayam, to this kriya?
The only side effects is like if you are overweight, uh, you lose weight. If you are underweight, you start putting on weight. So whatever your body constitution is, you start becoming that. Whatever your body needs, the kriya gives you that. So there are no negative side effects
Mm-hmm.
per se.
I mean, if people have like problems in their lower back or they have breathing trouble, I mean, are there any conditions, medical conditions, where people should not be doing this kriya at all, or
So
is it safe for everyone to do?
So I have been teaching this for the past now about 17 years. And the only condition where I have told somebody not to do it is if they're a cancer patient at fourth stage, or they've just had a recent operation, otherwise everybody else can do the Kriya, irrespective
Oh,
of age and
okay,
any medical situation.
right. There's a question here. What about people with high blood pressure? Can they do Sudarshan Kriya?
Absolutely, and you must do it. It'll help you to control your BP problems. Yeah, because
Wonderful.
again, BP is happening because of your sympathetic nervous system is being aggravated. So when you do Sudarshan Kriya, when you start, so the purpose of Sudarshan Kriya is to take you into meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you start meditating, you produce, instead of the fight or flight hormone, you produce the rest and digest hormone, and that will
Right.
get your BP back. That'll help you in your BP.
Wonderful. Okay. Are there any questions which the audience would like to ask Atika? I think we have Kirti here, and shall we request Kirti to, since she has done, I mean, she's been following this practice as well, what her experience has been? Kirti, would you like to share your experience about Sudarshan Kriya with us, please? Thank you.
Sure, I could do that. So I've been doing the Kriya along, and my son too, one of my sons. Both of us have been doing it for over 10 years. And my son did it first. He was motivated by some young followers of this practice when he was studying at the IIT Delhi. And once he started doing it, he encouraged, that I should also do it. And I certainly, I'm so happy that I agreed to do it. Uh, One of the things that it has greatly helped on a physical level is that both my son and I, we used to suffer from chronic allergic rhinitis. And I can't remember that I would ever go anywhere, even in the house, without a tissue or a handkerchief. It was a blocked nose or you needed to clear your nose. And miraculously, I mean, I didn't even realize over these 10 years, I don't have that anymore. I don't have allergic rhinitis anymore. At some stage, it just went. And the only thing I can ascribe it to is the Kriya. The other thing is that in Delhi, I was told by the doctor that I'm starting on an early asthma. And I did have some, anti-allergics for a couple of years. And now I just don't use them at all. I don't need to use them. So at a physical level, it's been a great boon. At a sort of emotional, spiritual level, it brings about a great sense of calm and well-being. So, and it's something that, as Atika said, it doesn't take more than 20 minutes or half an hour at most to do the practice every day. And I certainly think it's something that is definitely worth doing at any age.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, Kritik. And we also have to thank you for helping us organize this session, because uh, you helped us set the session up. So thank you very much for doing that. And I think so many members are going to benefit from it. Atika, do you teach Sudarshan Kriya? Is there, if somebody would like to learn it, is there a way in which they can learn it from you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm having my next program only in the first week of September.
Okay.
So it is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th September. So you can get in touch with me, or I can send it across to the club and they can register, or whatever. If you can organize it just for the club members, even I can do it earlier then.
Okay. We'll see what the how the the viewers react to it, and maybe if they so wish, then we would love to have you do a Sudarshan Kriya course for us at the club.
Sure.
Is it possible to do it in person now, or is it still being done on Zoom?
No, I tell you, it's virtual. I'm doing it virtually. I'm not meeting anyone
Virtually.
now. I
Okay.
have 2 senior citizens at home, so I'm doing everything virtually
Everything
right now.
virtually.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you for letting us know that. Thank you. I mean, the session has been just so calm and relaxing. I feel like it is actually good morning. I feel re-energized. So thank you very much. Are there any questions which the viewers would like to ask, Atika? Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Or you can put it in the chat box also. I can read it out and I can answer it.
Sure. Thanks a lot is one of the comments. Any questions, anybody? Okay. So since there are no questions, Atika, any last few tips which you would like to leave for our viewers?
No, I would just say that whether you learn Sudarshan Kriya or not does not matter. But please, I would recommend, highly recommend that do at least 5 to 10 minutes of breathing practice, some pranayam, and just sit with your eyes closed for 10 minutes and meditate. Just
Yes,
watching your breath.
can I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
See,
Please,
actually,
go.
it is a very good and educative lecture from you, and I'm really happy to understand. It's very educative, but I have not been able to understand what actually is Sudarshan Kriya. What I learned from your this speech for last 1 hour, you given us 2 exercises. One is inhaling and blowing through like a candle, and second thing pulling the ears, and then third is meditation. That's about these 3 things I've learned. Is these 3 are the only things on the Sudarshan Kriya?
So no, Sudarshan Kriya is a rhythmic breathing practice, and you need to prepare for it. And it is like a rhythmic breathing practice which you do, and it culminates into a meditation. So it is, it affects all your 7 chakras or the 7 energy centers. And we need to prepare you for that. So that's why we take about 4 sessions to do that. So the first session, we kind of tell you there are 3 specific pranayams which you learn. And on the second day, you do the pranayams plus the Sudarshan Kriya, which is always done in Shri Shri's voice. So there he has, he's a specific method of doing it. And you just have to breathe in and out in a specific rhythmic breathing pattern. And you automatically slip into meditation. And that is the most beautiful effect on the body and the mind. So that's what Sudarshan Kriya is, if I were to explain it physically.
Yeah, I know. I remember, for many years back, I was in USA, and somebody told us about the meditation that's very difficult to meditate. But he said that you just lie down and close your eyes and think of something good, something happened in your life or something. And I had that time just come out of the Vrindavan Gardens. And I just started thinking on Vrindavan Gardens, that how I went there, how I bought the tickets, what we did. And by the time I finished, it was almost 40 minutes, by the time I opened my eyes. and that's what I thought it was a meditation, but something. I mean, I just wanted to share this with you.
Thank you, sir.
There,
There are many
there are
ways of
different ways of
meditating.
doing meditation
Yeah,
now, Uncle.
Mhm.
yeah.
There are different types of meditation, different ways of meditation, and um, you know, as Atika said, you have to control your breathing, and through that control your mind and your body. So have I
That's
have I
I
summed it up
I just want to
properly,
share, that
Atika?
for
Very
40 minutes
beautifully,
I was
very
just lying
beautifully.
down and and thinking on that thing, and I didn't think of anything else. I mean, I just
We
wanted
know
to
now
share this
your
with you.
secret to good health, Uncle,
Thank you.
and your energy too.
Thanks.
Okay. On that
Good.
on that
Good,
happy
Atika.
note, on that happy note, we wish everyone a very pleasant evening and a relaxing evening. And Atika, thanks once again for such a interesting, educative, relaxing, calming, as well as something where one is motivated to learn from you and learn about more about this breathing technique. And I would just like to thank the viewers for being part of our Zoom in today, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. And Kriti, thank you very much too.
Thank you. Thank you for
My
inviting me. Thanks,
pleasure.
Ata.
My
Okay.
pleasure, Sanjana.